Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Obsessing Over Money with Batu. Okay, so this is episode 13 in the series, and it corresponds with chapter 15 of the book, Nothing's Free. But I'm going to approach this episode with a slightly different angle. The past chapters in this series pretty much followed the principle of each chapter. In this episode, however, I plan to expand on the principles of the chapter written by Morgan Housel. Oh, and by the way, this is the second take of this recording. Thank you to everyone who informed me that there was no audio in the original recording. I have to do it all over again. But okay, let me just quickly introduce myself and we'll get into the gist of it. Right, my name is Paulynne Cheng, in case this is the first time we meet, and I am a Bazi and Feng Shui practitioner. Okay, I was formerly in the communications field. Today, I run my own micro one person consultancy. So, in the course of watching this series, if you find that I am delivering value and you would like to explore your own chart further, my booking link is in the description. Oh, an important disclaimer, okay? I am not a financial advisor. I'm a Bazi and Feng Shui practitioner, which means I read energy. Okay, I am not a licensed financial advisor or consultant or anything in that field. So please take this content as education only. Okay, and of course, I hope you enjoy the content. So, take what you want and pay for it, says God. That's an old Spanish proverb, by the way, and perfectly sums up chapter 15 of The Psychology of Money. Let's head on with some key excerpts. So, nothing is free, not even a bikini. You would think that such a itty bitty piece of cloth could be practically free, right? Okay. Have you seen the prices of bikinis? And we're not even counting the price of getting a body that lives up to that damn bikini. Okay. So, on to serious matters. Everything has a price. And the key to a lot of things is just figuring out what that price is and being willing to pay for it. The sentence is key for not just investing, but everything in life, really. Want to have good relationships? There's a price to pay. Want to have good health? Also a price to pay. Want to ignore health? Eventually, there would be a price to pay. Want to have stable financial foundations? Again, price to pay. Many things are harder in practice than they are in theory. This is especially true these days with trading all the rage. You want to be a good trader, there is also a price to pay. In investing, market volatility and constant upheaval is the fee for entry. You need to not only be able to deal with the volatility, but you will also need to invest time and effort to learn and figure out what you're doing. I mean, it sounds so simple, right? People just say, oh, just choose the right stock and hold it for long term. But in actuality, it's so hard to hold that stock while stocks are collapsing, right? Right now, as I'm filming this second take, this is about right now. I'm at about a week and a half from the announcement of the U.S. tariffs. So first there was this announcement of the tariffs, which made no mathematical sense, and then after that came the pause, a 90-day pause, and then came the announcement that certain products would be exempted, and then they said no, 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 there will be no exemption, and then there is another announcement. So the market has been behaving like a yo-yo these few days, and while all this is going on, logically our minds tell us that, oh, it's okay, this is a good stock, I hold it. But how long can you stand watching the stocks in free fall? Okay, so if you want to play this game, you need to have paid the price to gain the knowledge to handle this market volatility. Otherwise, you run the risk of being victim to the news cycle. Or if you don't like the uncertainty, then find an asset with less uncertainty and a lower payoff. So a lot of people, though, because they're seduced by investing gurus of our times, keep looking for shortcuts through the one trick or the strategy that gets the returns without paying the price. Okay, sometimes they even ask for parts consults to see, do we have the luck? Listen, no matter who you ask to consult you, nobody in their right minds will tell anyone and say, hey, this is it, you sai lang lah. That's called gambling, okay? You might as well take your money to a casino and plonk it on the table. Make sure that you go to a casino on your wealth day, okay? So, as mentioned earlier, this is not an episode about do I have the luck to gamble on the stock market. Okay, there are actually no direct correlation between chapter 15 and Bazi, but I can expand on this principle. For financial success, there are also prices to pay. These prices are very often the effort we put into acquiring the skills or polishing the talent that you can then subsequently leverage on to create wealth. Would you like that? Okay, if yes, get your Bazi chart ready. Let's call this the skills that pays the bills. Okay, so for this episode to make sense, of course, I need you to plot your Bazi chart. Link to the free Bazi plotter provided by the JY Mastery Academy is in the video description. And an important disclaimer again, second disclaimer, terminologies and Bazi charts in this free sharing are copyrighted materials belonging to Dato Joy Yap and the JY Mastery Academy. So if you want to know more about what they do, please visit joyyap.com. So once you have your chart, scroll right down to the bottom where you see this. Okay, it says the 10 profiles strength chart. Look at the top two or top three. Don't pick too many, okay? Don't yasu. Okay, so this technique I'm about to share, I most commonly use when reading Bazi for kids, because we want to give their parents a guide to the children's strongest abilities. But especially in our current timeline, it's hard for us to 100% predict the type of jobs that correspond to these 10 abilities, because everything is changing so fast these days. So instead, we leverage on the core thinking abilities associated with the 10 gods. Okay, you follow my drift, right? If you're ready, figure out your top two or top three. Let's go. Right. If you have direct resource, DR, or direct wealth, DW, in your top three, strengthening your logical abilities will give you an edge in decision making, problem solving, and long term planning. These two profiles thrive on clarity, structure, and efficiency. So, sharpening analytical skills will enhance both your professional and financial success. So, the key areas here are some suggestions: data analysis and interpretation, for example. Excel, SQL, or Python for data analysis. And by Excel, I mean the full power of Excel, not just how we use it to add one plus one together. Okay. So, if you work in finance, business, or research, being able to break down numbers and trends can give you a major advantage. Okay. Number two, critical thinking and problem solving. Consider taking up courses on decision sciences, logical reasoning, or structured problem solving. Okay, for example, a consultant who uses McKinsey's issue tree framework to break down complex business challenges logically. Number three, logical and strategic decision making. Suggestions would include practice game theory, decision trees, or cost benefit analysis to make well informed choices. Example, a stock trader who applies risk reward ratios and technical analysis before making trades. Number four, structured communication and writing. Learn frameworks like the pyramid principle for structuring arguments logically in writing or presentations, for example. Okay, next, coding and algorithmic thinking. Coding languages like Python, R, or Java train structured thinking and problem solving. So, example, a finance professional learns Python for financial modeling and automation. Mhm. Number six, research and evidence based decision making. Learn or practice more fact checking, statistical analysis, and logical reasoning to validate information before acting. So, for example, a medical professional who uses evidence-based medicine to choose the best treatment approach. So here's the final thought. If you have a direct resource, you may naturally already enjoy deep research and analysis, right? With direct wealth prefers a more logical efficiency in decision making. Whichever category you fall into, developing these skills will help you make better informed, data driven, and objective choices, leading to smarter financial and professional decisions. Next group, eating God, indirect resource. Okay, so if you have either one of these two in your top three, you have a natural strength in intuition, creativity, and pattern recognition. Pattern recognition, especially for indirect resource. So, unlike the logical, structured thinking of direct wealth or direct resource, EG and IR operate on instinct, seeing broad patterns, making unconventional connections. Your mind works best when it's free to explore, imagine, and synthesize ideas rather than following rigid frameworks. Rigid frameworks don't work for EG and IR. Okay, so strengthening your intuitive abilities will enhance your ability to anticipate trends, read people, and navigate uncertainty. So here are some suggestions on what we can do. Number one, pattern recognition and holistic thinking. Example, engage in activities that allow you to see the bigger picture and recognize trends. So, for example, a stock trader using market sentiment and trend analysis instead of just technical data to make investment decisions. Okay, number two, meditation and mindfulness for enhanced intuition. Okay, intuition, IR especially, thrives in a calm, clear mind. So, practices like meditation, deep breathing, or guided visualization will do a lot to help you fine tune those internal signals. Okay, for example, a CEO who makes better gut driven decisions by practicing daily mindfulness before they hold their high stakes meetings, for example. Okay, number three, creative expression and free thinking exercises. Intuitive minds like EG and IR need unstructured creativity to make breakthroughs. So think of things like a mood board, spontaneous sketching, mind mapping, those type of techniques to unleash the full power of your abilities. Number four, learning through metaphors and symbolic thinking. EG and IR thrive in abstract conceptual learning rather than direct facts. Okay, so an example of this would be a business coach who studies storytelling in order to craft compelling narratives for their clients. Okay, number five, improvisation and adaptive thinking. Since eating God and indirect resource excel at adapting to the unknown, improv based exercises help sharpen that spontaneity and creative problem solving. Okay, so for example, maybe someone like me takes improv classes to become a more dynamic public speaker. Wonder if there are any improv classes in KL. Okay, and number six, exploring the unconventional and alternative knowledge. EG and IR often they love insights from unconventional sources. So this is one area that you can enhance on their skills. Okay, so if you have eating God, your intuition works through creative play, self-expression, and imagination. If you have indirect resource, your gut feel is more instinctive, absorbing insights from the unseen and the intangible. Either way, with these two guys, refining your intuitive abilities will make you a more innovative thinker, able to anticipate opportunities and navigate uncertainties with more confidence. Okay, next group, pragmatic abilities with the right officer or friend in your top three. Your strength will lie in pragmatism, efficiency, and structured execution. So, unlike intuitive or risk driven charts, DO and friend thrive in order, practicality, and step by step solutions. So, your ability to stay focused, systematic, and results driven makes you an effective decision maker and executor. In order to enhance this, here develop skills that maximize efficiency, simplify processes, and improve structured problem solving. Okay, here are the suggestions. Number one, process optimization and systems thinking. Learn to break complex tasks into manageable, repeatable steps. Think SOPs, checklists, workflows to enhance efficiency. Honestly, if the direct officer or DO is among your top three, I think you already do this very naturally. Okay. Number two, time management and productivity mastery. Okay. Master frameworks like example, the Eisenhower matrix, which is urgent versus important, the Pomodoro technique, which was all the rage during the COVID years, or GTD, getting things done. Okay, so an example would be, say, of using this type of time management framework could be a consultant who time blocks tasks to avoid distractions and boost focus. Number three, enhance your decision making under pressure. Okay, because with a direct officer in particular, you like to follow your decision making. You tend to follow the book. Okay, and when there will be times when the book cannot apply, then the direct officer profile will start to come under pressure. So decision making under pressure is about training ourselves to make quick logical choices without the overthinking. This can be done either through case studies, crisis simulations, or even business war games. Okay. Next is the practical and systematic problem solving. Um, the DO structure would love things like structured frameworks like the five whys, root cause analysis, the Pareto principle, or Six Sigma to improve on processes. And next, direct and no nonsense communications. Learn clear, concise, and goal oriented communication that eliminates fluff. So, in today's world, they like to say that if you cannot write a report in three bullet points, then it's too long. Okay. And finally, simplicity and minimalism in execution. This is talking about learning how to reduce unnecessary complexity by focusing only on what works and eliminating wasteful processes. So, some final thoughts. If you have the right officer, your pragmatism comes from structure, discipline, and adherence to best practices, hence by the book. If you have friend among your top three, your efficiency is rooted in collaboration, networking, and keeping things simple. Either way, mastering some form of these skills will help you work smarter, cut inefficiencies, and execute with precision and impact. Next, collaborative abilities. If you have hearing officer, HO, or Rob Wealth RW in your top three, your strength lies in collaboration, influence, and working with people. Unlike the more self contained or solitary structures, HO and RW thrive in group dynamics, teamwork, and collective problem solving. Whether through persuasion, leadership, or shared decision making, your success would often come from leveraging upon the strengths of others. To enhance this, we develop skills that improve communication, negotiation, and cooperative problem solving to maximize team synergy for you. So, here are the suggestions. Of course, right up at the top would be effective communication and persuasion. For example, master active listening, learning how to give constructive feedback and conflict resolution to improve on collaboration. Okay. Number two, team decision making and consensus building. Learn collaborative decision making models like brainstorming, round robin discussions, or the Delphi method, for example. Number three, negotiation and influencing skills. Of course, this is a must. If you have the HO and RW and or RW among your top three, improve your negotiation techniques. Learn, for example, the Harvard's principled negotiation, BATNA mirroring techniques, those type of stuff. Okay. Number four, tackling problems as a team. Develop collaborative problem solving skills by using certain frameworks like mind mapping, for example, to put everything together. Next, managing group dynamics and emotional intelligence. For HO and RW, learn how to read social cues, resolve tensions, and create a positive team culture. And number six, leading collaborative projects and delegation. Improve skills in project management, delegation, and ensure accountability in group efforts. Okay. So in today's world, these two skills are so very important because none of us work alone, right? We are all in a codependent, collaborative economy. So if you have hurting officer, your collaborative power comes through charisma, storytelling, inspiring others. If you have the Rob Wealth among your top three, you lead through team building, resource sharing, and collective momentum. Either way, honing these skills will help you become a stronger communicator, influencer, and team player, driving success through people, not just personal efforts. Next bunch. This too is hard. Okay, visionary abilities. If you have indirect wealth, IW, or 7 killings, 7K in your top three, you are naturally visionary, strategic, and future oriented. Unlike those who thrive on routine and stability, you operate best when thinking ahead, spotting trends, and positioning yourself ahead of change. So, your ability to see the bigger picture, take calculated risks, and challenge conventional thinking can make you a powerful force in leadership, entrepreneurship, and innovation. So, to maximize on your potential, develop skills that enhance foresight, strategic planning, and the ability to inspire and lead others. So, here are the suggestions: big picture thinking and trend spotting. Number one, okay, strengthen your ability to anticipate shifts in industries, markets, and human behavior. Now, I know this is easier said than done because it will require a lot of committed study and analysis to get to this point, but it actually helps to improve on either one of your indirect wealth or 7 killings. And here's the thing, here's the sad thing: indirect wealth is also one of the harder stars to train because it's fairly, in terms of training and indirect wealth, it's right up there with in terms of difficulty with the indirect resource, because both of these require the school of hard knocks. It requires experience, so it's not so easy to pick this information out of a YouTube video or a book. Okay. Number two, future oriented planning and risk assessment. Learning scenario planning or risk mitigation, 7 killings, and long term forecasting to balance bold moves with sustainability. Third, strategic thinking and decision making. Consider adopting frameworks like Blue Ocean Strategy, Porter's Five Forces, or First Principles Thinking to develop unique strategies. Now, mind you, all these are suggestions. Please explore for your own, okay? So, number four, motivating and challenging others. Visionaries like Indirect Wealth and Seven Killings, they don't just see the future, they are able to inspire others to move towards it. So, develop leadership skills in storytelling, persuasion, and driving motivation would also work for these two abilities. Next, setting the right tone and culture. Leaders with indirect wealth or seven killing are able to set high standards and thrive in environments that demand change and intensity. So, for example, a media executive who pushes the company towards digital transformation before the industry even shifts. Lastly, mastering calculated risk taking. Indirect wealth and seven killings are naturally okay with taking risks. Okay. Therefore, refining how and when to take them, the risk, is going to be key. So, some suggestions using this mastering calculated risk taking would be learning about asymmetric risk reward, probability based decision making, and venture strategy. For example, say, let's use an example, maybe a cryptocurrency, excuse me. So back to the example, for example, a cryptocurrency trader uh, who learns how to manage downside risks while making a high reward plays, for example. So if you have, here's the final thought on this. If you have indirect wealth, your vision is bold, unconventional, and opportunistic. Keyword is opportunistic. You see potential where others see uncertainty. If you have seven killings, your vision is driven, high stakes, and competitive. You push boundaries, you thrive under pressure. Either way, mastering some of these skills will help you lead with foresight, help you take smart risks, and inspire others to follow your vision of the future. Next, finally, you know, as and this, everyone wants financial stability, but let's be honest, okay? There are no shortcuts. Wealth and security and success, they don't magically appear. Even if you avoid financial risk, you're still paying a price, the price of time, effort, and discipline. So stability doesn't mean an easy road. It means making the right choices consistently on a fairly consistent basis, adapting when needed, and putting in the necessary work to sustain long-term financial health. So think of it this way. Every financial decision you make comes with a trade-off. If you invest in growing your wealth, you're committing time and energy into learning, strategizing, and managing risks. If you choose safety and security, you are sacrificing potential upside in exchange for predictability. Even inaction has a cost, the opportunities you miss while waiting for the perfect moment. So, no matter what path you take, you're always investing something, whether it's your energy, your focus, your time, or your patience. So, the real question isn't whether you pay a price for financial stability, it's what price you are willing to pay. Will you put in the effort to build a foundation that lasts, or will you pay later in stress, missed opportunities, or instability? The choice is ours. So the key is to invest in ourselves, stay adaptable, and commit to the long game. Because true stability isn't about avoiding challenges, but about having the strength and strategy to handle them when they come. So in my sharing in this video, I'm hoping to suggest some methods that you can enhance on your pre-existing strengths in the hopes that you will be able to better leverage on your pre-existing strengths. So that's it for the retake of this chapter 15 of the psychology of money. We have two more episodes to complete the series, so I'll see you in the next video.